All right, we've made it down to Haltech. Thank you to James. Thank you for bringing us down to Haltech and showing us around and showing us what you guys are about. Got a bit of stuff and a bit of history behind us here.
Yeah, there's a lot of history. This is our business started in 1986. So if we start in the top corner, we're dealing with history all the way through to our current range, and what looks like a burnt bit of plastic here in the corner, believe it or not, still works. I've lived through fire and still able to come through with a result.
What did that come out of?
Drag car, I believe. Yeah, so fuel leak and burnt, but still able to run.
Just burnt the stickers off and it's good to go.
Nice and easy.
Shows the casing's good, eh?
I was about to say, we're quite happy to give them a new one at this point in time because it's a nice proof of concept, isn't it?
Perfect.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot of history going on behind us.
Huge amount of history, and we're very proud of where we've come from and the people that were supported over the years and that still support us today. And you'll see that this weekend here at World Time Tech.
Definitely. I'm sure there'll be a lot of cars running the Haltech brand this weekend.
Yeah. No, it's definitely going to be an interesting time.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess we'll go have a look around.
Yeah, we'll show you around the building.
Awesome.
We used to be in the building a quarter of the size of this, all of us.
Yeah.
It was very, very small, and then we moved here in 2014, where we've actually now got a boardroom and a staff lunchroom. There's actually a second staff lunchroom, believe it or not.
It's a flash start.
Must be nice having a smoke.
It must be nice having some hot water,
boss about that, eh? Believe it or not, we even have a yellow coffee machine.
No way.
Yeah, look. We bring the brand in.
Yellow chairs. Got to have the theme going, eh?
Yeah,
so,
own it. You know, if you got to use it, we own it.
Cafe de Haltech.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Anything decent in the fridges?
Today?
What does Haltech?
Oh, no.
There's some roadies.
But yeah, the whole idea is that the staff actually have some time to chill out.
Yeah.
You know, like that's you got to take out the work aspect of it when you need to actually have that time zone out and
Yeah.
Come on through the wall of history. So we'll walk on.
We've been collecting stuff for the last 5 years for Wally Yarns as well for when we built our own shop.
Yep.
So like the history of Vinny Fab as well, the bad and the ugly and the good stuff, you know,
Yeah,
put it all on the wall.
You prepared to show off your bad building?
Yeah. I show it out every day when it still goes out.
People are paying for it.
Yeah. Nugs is 15.
Yeah. So this is the one room we can't film in, but I'll introduce you to.
I will.
Welcome to the warehouse. This is your inwards goods and testing facility. So if you come up with a harebrained idea, this is where we start the testing.
Wicked. I was going to say this is where the magic happens, but I guess the magic happens in every bloody corner and orifice of this place, eh?
GDR with side pipes, eh?
Well, he likes to go racing, so why not have some side pop?
That's cool.
So that was that circuit car, yes, a time tech car, and competes in the GT style racing here in Australia. That was the first car that put an R5 into to run the whole car. So that, which has been running fine, but he's just added some more things. So we added a PD16. So Dave did the wiring on this if you have a look on our YouTube channel, you'll find the whole build on this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the R5 running the whole car, to me, in its first point, is quite an achievement. And on we go.
Especially with an R35 GDR. There's a lot of stuff going on it.
It's a full tube chassis build, like as a start to finish. Yeah, this is no holds barred.
Very cool.
Yeah. Behind you have a 2JZ test engine. So where we come up with any harebrained ideas to run. So R5 running, throttle control, drive-by-wire, start and stop. So yeah, the whole idea is to be able to make it work and test and be able to educate people. So every sensor, if we want to test a sensor and make sure that that's working, test a coil, figure out that that's working, so on and so on. Makes a huge difference.
Very cool.
Yeah. And we're just in the process of the one that's sitting in the middle there. That's the LS doing the same thing.
Is that for the Rebel LS?
Yeah, there's actually one sitting on. So we've got 3 test vehicles, but this is going to be just a test engine because obviously the V8 seems to be quite a common requirement these days.
It is now, eh?
Yeah. So bit of fab going on there.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful, eh?
Yeah.
Very cool. I love these new dashes, eh? That's so cool.
Only downside, no buttons.
Ah, so you have to do everything with the
You have to
keypad.
have keypad, or there is wired-in buttons, but obviously you lose 2 inputs.
And local in Sydney as well, are they?
They're local Sydney. They're probably 40 minutes from here in
yeah.
traffic.
So
I was
what-
there yesterday.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
That's only because I'm a Kiwi and not used to so much traffic.
Yeah,
right?
it was stressful getting here, eh? I'm not gonna lie, it was like 3 U-turns, eh?
But it's easier when you actually have somebody in the passenger seat navigating.
I just love to look at the other people's work, eh? Very cool. There's not much room in there, eh?
Yeah.
But
Turbos tight and low.
So much more naked when they don't have all the factory bits
Body
and bobs
panels.
on them, eh? Yeah.
Oh, the inner panel.
For sure.
Yeah. You think, oh yeah, there's more room? Oh no, not really. This is assembly. So the assembly line itself is, as you can sort of go through the gap, you'll see everything from a circuit board, then into a case, then with a sticker on it, serial number, tested, and then from testing where they all go into the black bins, which we'll see in a second. Hey team, so there's not many of you left. Where is everybody? Second shift, eh?
So is everything that Haltech make dashes?
Everything is made here.
All made in Australia.
All made in Australia. The components brought in from all around the world, which turn up on reels like this.
Yeah.
And then they're put onto the big machine, which we'll get to in a second. But basically, raw material classed as a reel, and that's so we can just pull it off and load it into cassettes. Those cassettes are then put into the front of the machine. The machine chooses the part that it needs, pulls it off the reel, places it, goes through a selective solder point or surface mount selective soldering, and done. And then basically turns up as a green board, which these gentlemen behind us basically assemble. Now, all these people make sure that every board that they put together means that your car goes. So every board is an ECU of some kind.
So all the small parts are in the machine, and then the big parts by the guys here. Is that
That's
right?
assembled here, yeah.
Yeah.
So as you can see they're soldering on plugs, making sure that, as in the connection's right.
Yeah.
And then the box on the far side there with the TV screen above it, the Haltech, that there is a tester, and that makes sure that the product itself actually does work before it leaves this building. So, and whether it be an R5, an R3, an S3, a Rebel, all of them done here. An Elite, we've still got Elites rolling through the line.
Yeah.
But it's just to be able to do it. But if you look up here, you can see these are the plugs that go on the side. They've got to be all soldered into place.
True. So how long do you reckon the Elite 1500 and 2500 will be around before that's
We've probably got
succeeded?
a year
Yeah.
left on it.
Yeah.
But you know, so that there as the board sits, it's still got to have the plugs put on it. Come through. And that's your R3 sitting outside.
Very cool.
Yeah. So once they're finished, they go into the foam pads so that they don't get scratched. And all the wide bands. Yeah. And each serial number is then logged, that it's tested and run a wideband sensor, and we have the right accurate data coming out of the unit. Once the shelf is full, it's loaded into the ute and taken down to our boxing and distribution area, which is at number 8, so the other building.
Oh, sure.
So
Yeah.
we've run out of room.
And number 8's just down the road.
Yeah, number 8.
Number 8 of the street.
Different places.
Wicked.
Exactly, yeah.
Awesome.
So if you have a look on the far side there, we've got the dash, the UC10 tester, so we make sure that the colour brightness and everything's right. IC7's still being produced right there.
How many IC7s you guys reckon you've sold over the years?
I don't know, 40 to 50,000. Like, it's a lot. I mean, like to the point that I actually haven't even looked at the data now. It's just that's just a constant. And then there you go. Finished box light, PD16s.
Awesome.
So,
Cool.
yeah.
And they go like that down to the other place, and then they get boxed at the other place.
Yep. So the serial number's already on them here, which means that they've gone through their first stage of testing and been approved the second stage of testing, which is basically a closed test. So the first stage is before it goes in the box. Second stage is once it's in the box, like that. It's powered up and make sure that all the circuits work.
Yeah.
And away you go. Done. Put it into this box, and then Jordan, our warehouse guy, he'll basically pick up the boxes, take them down there, make sure that they're boxed by the girls, and load it up onto the shelf, ready for dispatch. If they're going to America, it might be on a pallet. Coming to New Zealand, we'll probably get a box about that, but you know.
What is the biggest market out there? Is it Australia or is it USA?
For a long time, it's been Australia. America is just now starting to put it in front. So,
Yeah.
But you got to remember that we're an incumbent Australian brand going into an American market.
Yeah.
But now America can sort of see that we're definitely ahead in that technology race. You've still got American brands that are incumbent, I suppose. You know, people's go-to. But I think once you start using the software, you really like the interface.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, actually, I probably want to change.
So compared to like the Haltech versus the American brands, the Haltech will probably come across a bit more affordable than some of the big American
Well, that's
brands as well. Eh?
Yeah, well, yes and no. I mean, like we've just released the Rebel, which I think is $1,500 US, like $2,800 Kiwi, 2.5 Australian. That there, for the money, you really can't get anything better. That's an ECU, a loom, and a wideband sensor, plug in and running. And basically, the aim is to, if you didn't have to lay out the loom nicely, you could have it running in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
On the Wi-Fi app, nice and simple.
That's cool. Eh?
Looks good.
So, but definitely, I mean, the potential of what we've got here and what I'm about to show you behind us is fantastic.
Is this the new toy, is it?
Well, it's not really a toy. The gentleman that's under heavy concentration there is Raj. He's the gentleman that's responsible for making this machine make the boards by itself. So we'll walk past and the boards. So the raw boards come in printed with the circuit layout, but that's it. So they're loaded into the machine. So it's straight, nothing on it, just other than it's just copper with a layout on it.
How is those made? How are they made?
So it's just like a scratch-off surface. So the green is basically the insulator. Does that make sense? For the existing board that's inside the machine to be finished, and then you'll see the machine open up and take that board in.
What's the general turnaround time on a?
I don't know what. Raj, what are we printing at the moment? R3s. And what's the runtime for a board?
That's great.
Wicked. So, I mean, look, this is very, very impressive. So this line was installed last year, or was it? Yeah, it's 1 year.
Last year, man.
Yeah. So we used to produce like 300 ECUs a month. This will produce 1,000 in a week. You know? So that's sort of the demand delivery that's sort of upgraded. You know, people want more.
Yeah.
So
It's never a bad issue to have, eh?
hey, as long as you guys keep on selling them. So the buzzers mean that there's a fault or something that needs to be checked, but yeah, basically the machine itself brings the board in, heats the board, checks everything, and then over here, as you can see, the cassettes are loaded.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, and then that machine there starts placing them where they need to go.
Insane.
How fast it is, it's amazing.
That's crazy, eh?
But, you know, can you imagine doing that by hand?
Yeah.
So that's how
That's how I thought it was done.
That's how Steve used to do it in his garage in 98. That's pretty cool.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Obviously, not just one, but the second machine, so do the other side, gets everything done as well. If there's a problem, light comes on, and your operating check waits to take care of what that is. It might be the fact that there might be a crease in the reel. There may be the wrong part loaded in. You know, I mean, we're buying these in, you're not checking every individual part, but the computer does.
So it can check that part itself.
Takes a photo. Watch this. So this is where it gets heated up. The board itself. And then we've got a reference point. So that's just a big oven, you know. So a reference point, so it checks, and if there's a difference, yeah, well, exactly. But it takes multiple pictures of the board. Sure. So you're just dealing with the ability for it to.
Sorry,
Yeah, no, you can. We're not here to interrupt.
You tell us to get out of your way.
Yeah, I need the product to keep on coming.
Yeah. I'm just going to put it on so we can have a look how it
Takes the photos. Yeah, so you might want to grab this on the camera.
That's the home board and then
Board out, and then the next one comes in, and it'll start taking pictures.
So the serial number for the ECU when it goes through, all of these
Crazy.
ones, they all go into a file with them.
Yep, and we've got it all on file, so if you ever need to check back, like if somebody's opened one up
Yeah.
and fucked with it and then sends it back to us for repair, we go, no mate, I got a picture of this when it was built.
Yeah.
You cannot screw us.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So the only reason it's going to break is if you break it, not the other way around. So then they come out, they cool down, and this is an automatic stacker. So what you see behind me is the stacks. So the auto stacker, so it basically loads that cartridge full. Nice and efficient. So it comes out of the machine, loads into the cartridge, and then they turn up like what you have behind us.
Is this like a machine that you buy as it, or is this something that you guys have developed?
No, you buy it. Like the old machine we actually still have down at number 8. So the team still run it on an occasion if we need to. But yeah, I mean, like this is just far outweighs our production. So you've got up in the top right hand side there, barrel boards, R3s, Rebels.
All about that.
S3, circuit board. Yeah. So you know, like these, and it's just one of those things. So reference points, so it checks, and if there's a difference, well, the problem. Light comes on, the operator sees
Sweet. Oh, well, thank you very much for the tour around the shop.
No drama at all.
It's
My
actually
pleasure.
all quite fascinating, eh? I didn't actually expect
As much?
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing for us is that we are very proud Australian assembled, I suppose, is the way I like to say Kiwis.
Definitely.
But, you know. But yeah, look, we do. We have a team that is very, very passionate about what they do. They're all car people.
Yeah.
Every time that they put together one of those ECUs or one of the widebands, they know that it's going into a car, and every bit counts.
Yeah.
If it works, it means that we're going to have happier customers, and they've done their job. And every time that they see it, so when you see a brand in a car of your brand, you're happy to be. I did that.
Definitely.
You know, and that's exactly the same as what we feel as staff, is that we have some way or some role to play in making your car and your motorsport passion or just vehicle passion itself work.
Pride in their own product.
100%.
Really cool.
And I know that you're very much on top of that side of things.
Definitely. But no, thank you very much for taking the time and showing us around.
Easy
Really
as.
appreciate it.
Thank you very much.